This is the first sequel of a sequence of episodes called Psychogenetic Development of Humankind. It will be shown that archaic or premodern adults share patterns and manifest traits usually to find among the children of modern society or among children at all. Children go through different stages to become adult, and according to the theory of Jean Piaget, they go through four main stages: the sensory-motor stage, the pre-operational stage, the concrete operational stage, and the adolescent stage of formal operations after the 10th year of life. And it can be shown that archaic or premodern adults do not surmount the third stage, the stage of concrete operations, and that they do not reach the stage of formal operations. The usual and common model stage is even the pre-operational stage, and the pre-operational stage is a second stage coming into being in the second year of life and lasting till the 6th or 8th year of life. That means that premodern or archaic adults share their psychological life with children in the ages between 3 and 8 mainly. And this commonality and resemblance does not only concern the one or the other part of the psychological life, it refers to all parts of the psychological system and to all parts of world understanding. The commonality includes, therefore, the understanding of logic, the understanding of physics, the understanding of social affairs, of morals, politics, the understanding of religious life, and the entire worldview. That means that everything what child psychology or developmental psychology has found out to describe children is also the main pattern of archaic or premodern adults. This idea is not so new as one might assume, as former child or developmental psychologists, such as Jean Piaget, have already described some common structures in the child and in the archaic adult. And Jean Piaget wanted to develop child or developmental psychology to describe the history, the world history of philosophy, sciences, and culture. But he went only some steps into the right direction. Others went further and beyond the point Piaget himself arrived. I wrote 14 books and 130 articles about this link between developmental psychology and history, and among them are 88 journal articles. So we need the stage theory to describe the history of culture. For example, children by their 10th year of life have animistic views of nature, of inanimate nature, such as stones, rocks, or stars, or rivers, winds and waters, clouds, and so on. Children think these entities are alive and conscious by their 7th or 10th year at the latest. And children in modern society, beyond the 7th or 10th year of life, surmount this animistic view. But we know from every ancient people that they also had this animistic view. And this is a full proof of the childlike anthropological stage of premodern humankind. Or take another example. Developmental psychology found out that children by the 7th year of life, or by their 9th year of life at the latest, have magical practices and magical beliefs with a strength and with a high amount of adherence. And ancient people also had magical beliefs and magical practices. And if we would only have the magical belief of ancient humankind, this would be a full proof of their childlike anthropological stage structure. Or take the belief in ghosts and specters. Children very young, especially those aged 3, 4, 5, 6, fear and see ghosts and specters everywhere, especially at night and in the darkness. And older children surmount this belief in specters and ghosts and monsters. But what we know from ancient cultures is that they also had this strong belief in ghosts and specters, and that they had hallucinations and visions of them and fear them and are afraid of them. And if we only had this phenomenon, the fear of ghosts, this would be sufficient to evidence that archaic humankind shared the psychology of children, and that there is not a slight difference between that what developmental psychology found out to describe children and what ethnology and the historical disciplines have told us about ancient peoples. And we need this new discovery, and we need this new theory to describe and to understand the history of culture, philosophy, sciences, religion, morals, politics, law, and arts, because we always find that the ancient structures of these cultural areas, such as religion, politics, law, and so on, etc., manifest patterns of the pre-operational stage, manifest patterns of the early child, while the historical trajectories of these cultural areas in the process of history surmount the pre-operational stage and gain the 4th stage of human development, gain the adolescent stage of formal operations in recent generations and recent centuries, together with the rise of modern industrial society. And this is the most fundamental theory to describe the history of culture and society, because there is no layer of psychological phenomena beneath the stage structures. And therefore, we have found a new key to describe the history of humankind. I will show you some of my publications concerning this topic. Here you see some articles about what Jean Piaget has taught about the subject and how we have to define and to describe the commonalities and differences between children and ancient human beings. published in American Journal of Psychology, the oldest still existing journal of psychology. Here are some more articles about the role developmental psychology can play in description of archaic humankind and psychogenetic development of humans. Here are some recent articles about the subject, and the latter one, the What Went Wrong in with Cross-Cultural Psychology, describes the errors cross-cultural psychology has made in the past decades concerning this topic. And here you find some articles relevant to the description of history, the history of law, the history of the fine arts and painting, the history of political structures, and the history of morals. And here you find some articles concerning the role stage theory could play concerning the description of the rise of modern society, concerning the explanation of the rise of modern society and the rise of modern Europe. Because the rise of modern Europe, the rise of modern industrial society originates in the rise of the adolescent stage of formal operations. And here you find some articles. Stage theory can describe that what ethnology reports from premodern worldview, customs, and manners. Here the same customs and manners of premodern societies are describable and explainable in terms of stage theory. Also, religion, magical beliefs, nature cults, and so on are describable in terms of stage structures. And here you find some articles where stage theory explains the rise of modern physical sciences and the history of philosophy. Here are some articles that show that ancient metaphysics and ancient philosophy is explainable in terms of stage structures. Ancient philosophy is made by the lower stages, typical for the philosophy of children. You can compare the philosophy of children with some main parts of ancient philosophy. For example, Plato's theory of ideas. And here also, stage theory explains the evolution of language. And that is a new view to see the history of languages. Because in the past 50 years, it was believed that there was no evolution in language history over the past millennia. But that's not true. And here you see an article that shows that the new theory can become or is the most fundamental theory of the human and social disciplines and can unify them all under one common roof. And that has never been the case in the history of the human and social disciplines, that there was a theory with this ability to unify all social and human disciplines under one common roof. And the new theory is able to do this and has already done this.